Yeah, I mean, disappointed in the loss for sure. I was really proud of my team. Wisconsin's a really good team, and they very veteran team, very well coached, playing at a very high level right now. And, to get that game with all the foul trouble and all the things we kind of endured throughout the game to be inside 3 minutes and have a tie game, we were in a really good spot. My guys showed a lot of fight, and I just thought Wisconsin made more plays in the last 3 minutes. It was two good teams kind of throwing punches back and forth. I thought they did some good stuff. We did some good stuff. We found some things in the second half to kind of get some other guys involved after Boo carried us early. And then, give their guys credit. I thought the two spinning, long contested 2-point shots, one by Klesmet, one by Storr, in tie games. Those are heavily contested, really well-defended plays, and a guy just jumps up and makes a shot, which you got to tip the cap to. And I thought Klesmet was awesome all day long. Obviously, Storr in the second half was able to, come back and get 14. But, just disappointing because, you want to put yourself when you play, the elite teams in the conference on the road, you just want to be in a position right at the end to have a chance, and we were there. And hopefully our guys will see that, we view that we can be one of those elite teams. We got a good team. We got a good group of guys. We're got a lot of character, a lot of fight, and we just came up a couple plays short. The offensive rebounds, obviously Crow, a couple tip outs there when we needed to get a stop. So it really was the little things in the last 2 minutes and a couple great shots by them. That was the difference in the game.
Thank you, Coach. Reminder, the mics. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, Chris, you got that tie with Nichols in it and the 2 free throws, and I know they're going to say their defense was a factor down the stretch, but your offensive execution, should it be better than that? Are you accustomed to it being better than that down the stretch, those last few possessions?
Yeah, well, you know what? I thought that, honestly, we had a little bit of a mix-up. We ran a little two-man game with Barnheiser and Bowie, our two main guys, and they trapped Boo, and he expected Brooks to pop off the trap, and Brooks cut, so Boo kind of got himself up in the air. I think it was a 2-point game at that time after Storr had hit the shot, and then he gets the steal, right, because he's expecting Brooks to be there. Yeah, good defense, good activity, but I think it was a little bit of a miscommunication, on our part. Then when we were down 4, I thought they had we ran an action, to get Boo to his right hand that we like, and I thought Steven made a nice block. I think he came over and blocked it. And then it was kind of a 50-50 ball that they had to go to the monitor, right? And it was off us. So, 2 good possessions for them defensively. But honestly, I thought our 2 defensive possessions were great. And Klesmet hits a spinning 18-foot, and then Storr does the same thing. So, sometimes a guy jumps up and makes a shot, and I thought both teams played really good defense and they made those plays. And then the 2 offensive rebounds, those are the ones. When we were down 4, we got them to miss twice, but we couldn't get the rebound. Then we're in a position to foul, and pretty much it was game over at that point when they made both.
Right in the back here, Coach.
Coach, you mentioned the foul trouble earlier. Did you feel the game was evenly officiated?
Look, you got to just keep playing. I'm not going to say that. These guys are great officials. The bottom line is when you play Wisconsin, you have to play with physicality. They're a very physical team, and they have been, and I say that in a complimentary way. And I thought both teams were playing incredibly physical and bumping and aggressive on the ball, and then we were fouling too much. We have great officials in our conference, so I'm not going to sit here and say that they weren't fouls. But we had to manage a lot of foul trouble. In the whole first half. That's what I was proud of. In the first half we got down 12, and it was a real breaking point for our team. We had a lot of guys with 2 fouls. They were up by 12, and I thought that last 3 minutes, us getting it to 7, we went into halftime and said, guys, we're right there. We had crazy foul trouble. We had different lineups in that we've played all year long, and we're right there. And then give our guys credit. I thought in the second half we played a really good half.
Michael?
You're obviously sending multiple guys to trap on the wings. I guess, how did Wisconsin kind of adjust to that after those early turnovers?
Yeah, they're a very good passing team. They do a good job. We knew they were going to be well schooled. That's why you got to have physicality, activity. I thought there were 2 or 3, and I got to watch the film where on our rotations, we were just kind of right there, and they made, and then one more, and Max hits a three, and those are those maybe that one more step to get that turnover. But that's what we do. I mean, they don't turn it over 13 times a lot. And really that's I want to give them credit. I thought we disrupted what they like to do, in terms of their motion game, their flex cuts, the things that they do, and then give them credit. They made plays. They attacked the doubles, and then they attacked us off the dribble. And I thought that was a big thing. Once we took away their plays, their ability to get by us on the dribble and get us in rotation really hurt us, not only for shots, but that was the cause of a lot of our fouls.
Right here in the middle, Coach.
Coach, Boo at 22, but Ryan and Ty kind of struggled throughout the entire game. Especially in that first half, what did Wisconsin's guards do to make it difficult for them to establish a rhythm?
Yeah, they were physical with those guys. They were fighting through screens. We were definitely trying to get them going. And really then to start the second half, I knew. I'm like, that we weren't going to have a chance to win if we didn't get some production out of Brooks, Ty, and Ryan. And in the second half, I thought we found those guys. They got some cleaner looks. Obviously, we found some things for Brooks. He got inside a little bit. He cut a couple pull-ups, but they're a good team. I mean, they did a good job. They were physical. They fought through screens. They were there. They didn't give Ty and Ryan any open threes. But that's what you expect. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the country for a reason, right? I mean, they're a good team. They've you knew that coming in, and that's why I said. I mean, if you would ask me, at the under 3 minute mark, how would you feel if you were tied? With 3 minutes to go in this building against a team as hot, as good as they're playing, I would have taken it. And then just give them credit. They outplayed us in the last 3 minutes.
Coach, you moved Luke into the starting lineup, moved Matt to the bench. Matt, in his past 2 games, has seen leaps. What have you seen from him in terms of his mindset and able to just take on this new role and get back to where maybe he was last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times starting and coming off the bench can be a little bit overrated. I know it's a big thing with all of you and who starts and who doesn't play, who comes off the bench and who and all that. I never viewed it like that. I just felt we weren't getting off to good starts with energy. And I felt like Luke could bring some of that energy. And, he's done a good job with that. And Matt's still getting his same minutes. And I think Matt's done a good job when he's come in of bringing that energy and still playing, to the caliber. I thought he today he did some things that he hadn't been doing. I thought his physicality, I thought his ability to protect the basket, some of his rebounding. I mean, he gets 5 rebounds today, 5 defensive rebounds. He hasn't been doing that. So a lot of positives. He walked up. He made 2 huge free throws to tie the game there late in the game. And so it's positive momentum. We got 3 big guys that we all feel can help and play that position. And it's kind of game by game how the game's playing, who plays more. But obviously with Matt's experience and what he's meant in our program, we need him to be an anchor. And I thought he did a better job today, this afternoon.
Another question in the back there. Go ahead.
Coach, I thought he did a good job getting good looks out of some sideline and baseline after timeout plays, especially Ty there with, I think, about 4 minutes left to tie the game. Were those things you specifically scouted for Wisconsin or just kind of plays you've already had that were executed particularly well?
No, those were plays that are in our package. That's a lot of times it's very hard. You might see it in the NBA but most everything we do, we might draw it up just to remind. But everything we do from an out of bounds perspective, we practice it. Those are things you have game situational when you're trying to get maybe a drive or you're trying to get Boo in a ball screen or, we just felt, to their credit, they were putting so much attention on Boo. We felt like if we could use him as a screener, that Ty would be free on the play, and that's kind of what happened. He knocked down a big shot. So those are all plays we run, and we take great pride. It's like special teams in football, guys. Like if you can win that war right in the game, if you can do a good job defending others teams out of bounds plays, and then you can score when you play a close game, sometimes that can be the difference when you're playing really good teams.
One more question for Coach right up front.
In your last 2 games, you guys have found yourself trailing by a decent amount going into the locker room. What do you have to do to start faster moving forward?
Well, I mean, I thought we were up against Michigan State at home. Maybe I was wrong. I thought we had a lead in that game, but in this game we were down by 7. I actually felt good. We had crazy foul trouble. We had a lot of guys with 2 fouls. And I thought us getting I thought the last 4 minutes of the half were huge, because they could take that from 12 to 15, 16. When you get down by 15 to Wisconsin, you're not coming back. You know, and I mean that in a pod. They just take care of the ball. They're too good. Us getting the ball to 7. But the game before Michigan State, I thought we played a great first half.